So long as we continue to perpetuate the notion that the only heaven there is beyond this world, that heaven on earth is not a thing, the longer we miss out on the truth that was shared. Jesus said, unless you become as children, you may not enter the kingdom. In modern science, beta, alpha, theta, delta denote the brainwave cycles of a human brain. In ancient times, they didn't have apparatus to measure that. And so back then, as they only experienced these states of consciousness through prayer, contemplation and meditation, as many of us do, they gave labels, a code, a mystic code. And this is not a code I have given birth to myself. This is a documented language that has not been taught in the mainstream religions of the world, unfortunately. But part of that code is earth, water, air, fire. And they denote the states of consciousness of the human mind. Beta, alpha, theta, delta, earth, water, air, fire. A child, up until the age of 8, their brain operates in theta and delta. At that point, your brain begins to change and operate predominantly in beta and alpha. Unless you become as children, you may not enter the kingdom. John the Baptist said, I will baptize you with water, because John the Baptist is your higher self. When you move from beta to alpha, you will hear the higher self begin to minister to you. Beta is the frequency of mankind where lies and addiction and all of these things exist in high beta frequency. John the Baptist said he'll baptize you with water, but one will come after me that will baptize you with fire. Earth, water, air, fire, beta, alpha, theta, delta. The fire is the highest state of consciousness for a human being to be. It's a wakeful dream state. It's there where supernatural communications, the voice of God, arises inside our lives. Earth, water, air, fire, beta, alpha, theta, delta. Children clearly exist in the kingdom of heaven. The love they have, the wonder they have for the world, it's because they're operating in theta and delta. They're operating in air and fire. Jesus was right. Unless you become as children, you may not enter the kingdom. Unless you know how to move your mind, not that the person can, but by the release of the person and its stories and the allowance for the ego to fall back to the silence from which it is born, and let that silence envelop you. Let yourself see the world without memory and without language, the meditative state. When you do that, your brain will move theta and delta. When you do that, the world appears to be heaven on earth as you feel unified and one with all things. Meditation can bring you back to exactly what Jesus said. Unless you become as children, you may not enter the kingdom. Unless you move your brain to theta and delta, you will not enter the kingdom, the living kingdom here and now of heaven on earth and the unity and oneness that we can experience as beings there. And whilst there, an outpouring of the unconditioned love of God is felt within. Science was right to back up what Jesus said. Jesus was right, confirmed by science. God bless, guys. Be well. Many of you know I have used this channel to be the sole source of promotion for the work that we do to bring God's love into this world out in Tanzania. Up to now, using the publicity from this channel and the love and kindness of those human beings who are among those watching, we have managed to build a special needs community, a village dedicated to the care and support of special needs children in crisis. Some of these children come from the most horrendous backgrounds, and thanks to that village and that community that we call Feathers Till, a great deal of love and healing has been provided in their lives. Our family in Tanzania is now made up of nearly 200 children who are in need of a loving family home. And I'm just making this to say thank you to everybody who supports what we do. Thank you to everybody who shares what they can, be it time, resources, fundraising and creativity found there. Thank you. You have made the foundations of our family possible. And it is through you guys and your love and support that we are able to bring this spark of God's unconditioned love into the world. If you want more information on our projects, please visit www.sharetanzania.com. God bless, guys. Enjoy the rest of the video.